parents warned me never to admit this, but when I was 3, I wanted to be a dog. I walked into preschool and straight to the dress-up box. One Dalmatian costume transformed me, crawling on all fours, my puppy tongue hanging out shamelessly, eating dry Cheerios, face straight into the bowl. Alas, it didn't last long. The doggy costume was sent to the dry cleaners and it never came back. But that day I knew I needed you before I even knew you existed. After years of begging and hounding, I finally won over my parents in grade 1. At 3 days old, you sat in Mom's hand and I was hooked. 2 weeks later, I was a poodle for Halloween. We called you Bella, but beautiful couldn't begin to cover it. The daughter of 2 champions, you could have been a beauty queen, but you had an undying love for mud puddles. You raced yourself in the backyard, training for a marathon, tracing your race course until you knew every turn. Up the hillside, down the straight part, round the swing set, through the garden. Up the hillside, down the straight part, round the swing set, through the garden. Darkness could have fallen, but you always thought we brought you in too soon. We grew up together, silly kids, clumsy preteens, teenagers who slept until 2. I'd come home from school jealous as you relished in the fact that you just woke up. I bet you never knew you were an animal. Your favorite foods were pizza crust and teriyaki salmon. Your taste in men ranged from garden boys to construction workers, as long as they were shirtless and willing to throw a tennis ball. All the times we took you to the dog park, you stood beside me on the concrete, saying, or neither of you thinking, "It's so great they created this place for the dogs to run." Here you were at 13, well on your way to gray hair, but I bet you hadn't planned on cancer riddling your body, constantly flipping your switch from senile episodes to moments of wild animal instinct. Hadn't planned on the heart attack that hit you at 6 a.m., hadn't planned on being found under the kitchen table while your inhales jumped hurdles over your exhales, hadn't planned on waking me up with 8 missed calls and a dozen text messages saying, "I'm so sorry," before I could text back what happened. Hadn't planned on dying in Mom's arms in the backseat of the car just outside the vet's office. But maybe you had, because when your world is bottoming out beneath you and you don't have a clue how to fix it, sometimes a hug from Mom is your only way out. All dogs go to heaven, but I never thought we'd lose you so soon. Now on the days of your birthday and anniversary, I watch Must Love Dogs because you loved Christopher Plummer. I'll order a large pizza to myself, cut the crust off the very first slice, drown it in that disgusting cheese sauce that I never understood why you liked, and raise a toast to my first love.
Yeah.